Hi, thanks for joining me today. This video is going to focus on some yoga for our hands. Our hands work very hard for us every day, and you can carry a lot of tension and tightness in the hands and the fingers and the forearms too. So we're going to work on some stretches that can help relieve a little tightness and tension in the hands. So the first thing we're going to start with is just doing a little massage for your hands. So pick one, it doesn't matter which one, but just palm facing up and just take your opposite hand, let the fingers support the back of the hand, and just take your thumb and just kind of give the hand a massage. So just massaging across the palm, over to the base of the thumb and all of the base of each finger. And then you can even do a little massage up each finger and your thumb, but just for a few moments. And notice if there's any tender spots. If you know you have issues with any arthritis or things like that, you might find some little tender spots, and you can flip the hand over and then just kind of do a little massage and a little rub across the top of the hand, and again down the fingers, and maybe a little around the wrist. And then once you feel that you have given the first hand enough attention, then go over to the other hand. And actually, just for a moment before you go to the second one, just kind of, take a look at your hands, notice what they look like. The one that you worked on might look a little different, a different color, might feel a little different, maybe a little warmer, but just notice if there's any difference in how they feel, maybe or maybe not. And then go to the second hand. So same thing, just kind of start palm facing up and just do a little massage across the surface of the palm, letting the fingers again support the back of the hand, which kind of gives you a little resistance there. And then specifically, kind of focusing over towards the base of the thumb and then the base of each of the fingers. And then starting again, kind of moving up each individual finger from the palm, just kind of give a little squeeze, thumb on top, fingers below with each finger and your thumb. And then taking that hand and flipping it over and give a little massage across the back, and again, maybe a little work up each of the fingers. And again, maybe a little just kind of roll around the wrist a little bit. And then once you feel that that hand has had enough attention, then we're going to take the fingers, palms facing down, interlace your fingers, and then just do kind of a little wave motion here with the fingers and the wrist. So just kind of get a little movement through the wrist and through the fingers. And then noticing how you have the fingers interlaced, switch it. So you're now, if you're folding in the thumb, opposite thumb on top. And then again, do a little resistant or a little wave here with the hands. And then gently let that go, maybe a little wiggle of the fingers. Then bring the hands out in front, arms shoulder height, palms facing down, and then flex the wrist, so pointing your fingers down towards the ground. So feel the stretch across the top of the hand and then up the forearm too, because all these muscles in the forearm operate the hand, a lot of the muscles there. And then take the hand and extend the fingers back, so we're getting this nice extension. Notice the sensation of the stretch across the underarm and through the palms. So do that a couple times. So flexion and extension of the hands and the wrist. And noticing, we have a dominant arm. So as you go through this sequence, notice if there's a difference one side to the other, either in the range of motion or the sensation that you feel. So again, little movement here. And then let's start with the right hand. So we'll work one at a time. So now bring the hand out with that palm, the hand in that extension, as if you're telling someone to stop. And then take your opposite hand and we're going to draw each digit back. So think of drawing the thumb back to feel a stretch on the palm, and then go to the index finger and the middle finger and the ring finger and the pinky finger, just a little pull back, and then repeating the pinky and go all the way back. to the thumb. So you do each finger and thumb twice. And then rotate the whole arm so that the fingertips point down. And then starting again, this time with the pinky, stretch the pinky back. And then that index of that ring finger and the middle finger and the index finger, and then reach around for the thumb. And then again, starting with the thumb and then going back, index and middle and ring and pinky. So getting that nice stretch. And then just let the hands rest down for a moment. Notice again, maybe difference in sensation between that right hand and the left hand. And then same thing, we're going to take the left arm extended forward like you're telling someone to stop. And then starting with that thumb, just draw it back to feel that stretch and sensation. And then that index finger and the middle finger, the ring finger and the pinky finger. And then pinky again, and then back to the ring and the middle and the index and the thumb. And then from that shoulder, just rotate that whole arm down. So again, we're extending through that hand. And then starting with the pinky, fold the pinky back, and then that ring finger and middle finger and index finger. And again, reach around for the thumb, and then repeating the thumb and index finger, middle finger. Again, you may feel that all the way up to the elbow. Just notice what you feel. And then again, let the hands release down. Take a breath. Again, just notice how those hands feel. And then we're going to do a couple things with a little weight on the hands. So whatever you were seated on, if you were sitting on a blanket or cushion earlier, move that out of the way. That first part you can also do seated in a chair if you'd like. So come to table pose. So spreading the fingers wide, so the wrists are below the shoulders and the knees are below the hips. So we have that nice wide spread of the fingers, and the middle fingers line up parallel with each other. So with that idea, spreading those fingers wide, we're going to pick the left hand up, make a little soft fist, and then as you inhale, extend out through the fingertips, press that palm back down. And then inhale, lift that right arm up, make a soft little fist, kind of draw that elbow back a little bit, and then spread out through the fingers, land the hand, press into that hand. So do that a couple times. Imagine that your hands are great big tiger paws. So as you set it down, really think of pressing into that palm and the base of the fingers and the tips of the fingers. So one more time each side. And then we'll start with the left hand. We're going to start to rotate the hand to the outside from the shoulder. So think of rotating the hand around, and so the fingertips point back. They may not point all the way back, and that is fine, but we're getting that stretch across that underarm there of the forearm, underside of the forearm. Inhale and exhale. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. Keep breathing. And it doesn't matter, if your hand only goes, the fingers only turn a little bit, that's fine. Just find what is your appropriate edge there. Inhale and exhale. And then very gently bring that back to center, and then do the same thing with the right hand. So from that arm, think of dialing that whole arm so the fingertips start to point back towards the back of edge of your mat as far as they will comfortably go. And again, if this is your dominant arm, you may notice a difference in sensation or movement, or how far you can rotate. Just inhaling and exhaling. And then once again, bring that right hand so fingertips face forward. And then if this feels appropriate for your body, rotate the left fingertips back and the right fingertips back at the same time. Inhale and exhale. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. And again, if that's too intense, either do less of a turn with the hands or just repeat and do one at a time for a few breaths if both turned out is a little intense. Inhale and exhale. And then once again, unrevolve, and we revolve the hands, bring them back to center. And then nice deep inhale. We're going to exhale back to child pose. But as we exhale back to child pose, we start to take the weight off the wrist. We're going to bring the weight into the tips of the fingers and draw the arch of the hand away from the mat, coming to a little spidey fingers here. So imagine as you're on your little fingertips here, and imagine that you're trying to bring your mat closer, like you're trying to squeeze that mat in. So you're really energizing those hands. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. You can just keep your gaze forward at this point, but nice length in the back of the neck. So we're not letting the chin jut forward. Gaze is down and a little bit forward towards the hands. And then very gently begin to let the hands release down, let the palm release down, let the forearms release down, the elbows release down. Very gently let the forehead come down towards the mat. If it doesn't come all the way there, you can rest it on something, a block or a stack of books or even a cushion. A couple breaths, just let the hands relax. And then very gently slide the hands back towards you, coming up onto your knees if that's comfortable for you. If not, just come to a cross-legged seated position once again. And just let the hands rest on your thighs with the palms up, let the shoulders relax, maybe close the eyes for a couple breaths. Just notice how your hands feel. And very gently let the eyes open. So that is a quick little sequence that you can do anytime, especially that first part. You can do that seated in your desk chair at home. You can do that as a quick warm-up for your hands at the barn before you ride, because we know when we hold onto the reins, we don't want to have tension in the hands and the fingers. We want to have a soft connection, and that can be tricky sometimes, especially as the weather starts to get cold and your fingers are cold when you're riding. So nice little warm up for the hands. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and check out the information about Grey Horse Yoga in the comments below. See you later. Bye.